Warning, this video covers modifying your car's CEM to gain new features. Please do this at your own risk. Neither the developer nor I take any responsibility for any damages. Please make sure to watch the video in its entirety so you can understand how to do this procedure safely and without risking bricking your DIM or any other features on your cars. Thank you.
If you're anything like me and you have a Volvo S60 or a different type of Volvo from the P3 generation, then you're probably familiar with how limited that gauge cluster is by default. Now if you upgrade to a nicer model, unlike my 2017 S60 Dynamic, you got one of these, a beautiful TFT display. But what you didn't know is that you actually don't have to go to the dealership to upgrade to get this option. You can actually find these at junkyards for increasingly less and less money as time goes on. And today I'm going to explain to you how I bought this for only $65 so I can get an upgraded superior TFT display only using the tools that I have in my car and the P3 tools. And today in this video I'm going to explain to you how to install a 2015.5 or newer TFT display in your car. Now there's a lot of retrofits and guides about retrofitting, but this one is for cars that specifically were manufactured from the factory with these as an option. What we're doing here is simply upgrading the option. We're not doing any retrofits, so this video is only for people who have a 2015 or newer TFT certified car, and so I'm going to explain to you guys how to do that in this video.
With any tutorial, there's a couple things that you're going to need. Number one, a Volvo TFT display, which you can get from a junkyard or from eBay, a Windows computer with P3Tool on it, a T25 Torx Bit, a tool to interface with your car, a flathead or trim removal tool, and a wire removal tool just in case the cable behind the dash is a little bit tight. Before we install anything, we gotta do some prep work first. First, we wanna make sure to read the mileage so that we can store that information locally and then write it to our new TFT display. Next, we wanna read the EEPROM, the EEPROM. This basically saves as a file that you will then be using to write to the DIM, and that saves all your information, such as your fuel tank information, the general code behind your speedometer, and all that information from our old TFT display or our old DIM to our new DIM. For the sake of safety, you want to do a full backup also, just because you never know what might happen. Now, writing the backup is debatable. I personally wrote the backup and faced issues, so I would say just keep the backup as a way of insurance if something were to go wrong, but it's not necessarily required for you to write the backup, and I'll explain that a little bit later on. Next, you're going to want to go to the config page and do some work here on the side to make sure that everything goes well. The first thing you want to do is start with the screen skins. I personally always choose to go with the Polestar, but there's also the R-Design or other alternatives ones if you want different gauges. Polestar is fine. R-Design gets you that special blue gauge, but I couldn't get that to work, so let's just stick with the Polestar. Next thing you're going to want to change is the DIM type. So this is where we're going to change it from something like 001 to the DIM type basic LCD. That's basically the TFT display, whereas before that's the analog gauges. So you want to go ahead and change that to the type basic LCD. Next thing you want to verify is that you have the correct tire pressure monitoring system. Right now mine says without TPMS because I have a newer car and my car actually uses an ITPMS system. Next, you want to make sure that you have all the fuel tank sensors properly enabled. For me, it's fuel tank 2 sensors because I have an all-wheel drive car, but forward wheel drive cars would have fuel tank 1 sensor. Make sure this is correct or else your fuel gauge is not going to read. And you want to make sure to write this config, and at this point your old display will probably go blank after it's done being written. Okay, now it's time to get to install. You can see here that there are 2 T25 bolts that you're going to want to remove to get that gauge cluster to come out. At the bottom, there's going to be a seal that's being held in by these 3 tabs. I use a little pry bar tool to get those out, but if you are able to do it with your finger, you can go ahead and do that. So you can see here I have the shelf, and I basically just yanked it out and then used a plastic trim piece removal tool to get those tabs to pop out. Once that's out, take a flathead or trim removal piece tool and you can literally just pull the thing out. At the back there is one singular cable plugged into the back of the display, and that's what we're going to use to plug into our new TFT display. Once the display is plugged in, you'll notice that it fits pretty fleshly, but you're not going to see any information or data on your gauge. Next, we're going to want to go into P3Tool where we can then write the mileage to the car. Now initially it does give me an error message, but it did write the mileage to the car correctly. Next, we're going to head and write our EEPROM. That was that file that we saved earlier that allows us to back up all of our information. So you're going to want to go ahead and load that in. At this point, you should be fine with your mileage and all other information appearing properly on your brand new TFT display. Well, new to you at least. Now at this point, sometimes things don't go as planned, and you might want to do a couple of extra things. The first thing you could do is, if it's not recognizing your DIMM, to just hit the refresh button at the top here and see if that appears. Also, you might want to do a little bit of DIMM programming. So you can see on the right here where it has flash, model, and fuel tank model, you're going to want to write a flash that properly affects your car. For me, it was a base flash from model year 2015 onwards, with unknown option 2 being the correct one for my fuel gauge. You see, I actually ended up having a number of issues with this flash as soon as I wrote the backup. What I had to do to save this was to go into rescue mode. So what you do is you want to unplug your TFT display, go into start program mode, and then while it's loading, reconnect the DIMM cable and hit OK, and that normally gets it to appear. After you flash it correctly with the proper information that you had before, your mileage or EEPROM, then you could go ahead and use a DIMM programmer, and that should take care of the issue. Before your DIMM is completely buttoned up, I highly recommend going through and making sure that everything works. You can see here that all the themes are appearing correctly. Although I don't have the art design theme, everything else with the stock works perfectly fine. Once that's done, go ahead and put those 4 bolts and that bottom panel back together, and you have yourself a brand new, to you at least, TFT display for what should only cost around $65 and about 15 minutes of your time.